I'm documenting the whole process of me starting this e-commerce brand from scratch with no experience. And actually my whole intention is to change the whole paradigm. I'm shifting the paradigm from this coffee culture to plant tea. Plant tea as in plants that come out the ground that are gifted by Mother Nature, to consume as the go-to hot drink, and move away from coffee, because nowadays a lot of people are getting jitters, they're getting crashes, the energy is not being sustained throughout the day, and as a detriment, a lot of people having side effects. And one way to put it is, if you get withdrawal symptoms from anything, it's a drug. And do you get withdrawal symptoms with coffee or caffeine? You let me know. But the whole premise here is I'm bringing you along the journey to show you the behind the scenes of what I'm actually getting up to, how far I am along the process to launch. Because at this moment in time, me documenting it is all the way up until I launch Fifth Ray and launch the product to the world. And I'm doing this for some fun, really, just to kind of keep myself accountable, to bring you along the ride and see like what really goes on behind the scenes. I thought it'd be fun for all of you guys to see as well. So like, I'm actually drinking some Fifth Ray as we speak. And Fifth Ray, the whole premise is it's for everybody. It doesn't matter what age you are, what gender, what health issues you may have or may not have. It's for the people that are health conscious, it's for the people who are in perfect health, it's for the people who are needing that extra help, where, you know, these supplements not helping them, or pharmaceuticals may not be helping them, and it's not a replacement for anything, it's to upgrade your routine, which is why I'm devised Fifth Ray and these plants. What I've done is formulated a super blend of plants. There's 7 powerful blends of plants, and I'll go into them shortly. But the point is, these have the full spectrum of nutrients. We're not getting all these amazing ingredients that are natural from Mother Earth and then putting them into a laboratory or manufacturing them, stripping them, turning them into powder, turning them into a pill. There's none of that. I'm against all of this. To me, it's BS. I want things as natural and as organic as possible, because that's how I live my life. And I want to share this with everybody else, because I feel like a lot of people can benefit from this. So let's kind of talk about what I'm getting up to and what's been happening in the last week since we last spoke. But before I do come to that, I want to set my intention, because I didn't set my intention in the first episode. And if you haven't seen that already, I'd suggest you just go back and watch that before coming to this one. But while we're here on episode 2, I'm just going to set the foundation when I'm at ground zero. First of all, my 100% plan, mission and intention is to change the paradigm. I'm shifting the paradigm from coffee to plant tea with Fifth Ray. And that's a bold mission. That's super bold, you know, especially when you got all these big coffee establishments around the world and how ingrained coffee is in people's lives. Coffee is going to be around. I'm not saying I'm trying to remove coffee. I'm shifting the paradigm of, you know what, I need my morning Fifth Ray. You know what, I've just had a heavy meal. I'm going to have a nice, refreshing mug of Fifth Ray. That's my intention. And I want to kind of set some foundations here, because for me, this is me fulfilling my purpose and living my day every day with fulfillment and purpose, because, you know, this is exciting to me on every level. I'm passionate about this. So for me to live this every day is filling me with great purpose. And the second thing is what I want out of this is I want to change people's lives for the better, to change the perception of having a plant-based drink or a herbal drink. Because at the moment, the best way I can describe a herbal tea is kind of like that one cousin at a family do that no one really speaks to. They say hi and it's just, they're kind of just forgotten about, because at the moment you have coffee, and coffee's quite vague because you got lattes and mochas and cappuccinos and things of that nature, and iced drinks as well. like if I go to, I'm not going to say a specific coffee place, but if I go to a coffee place, all these fancy things on the menu of spiced pumpkin latte and whatever else, and then you just get relegated in the corner of the menu with I can get a peppermint tea or a chamomile tea, but I'm flip-flopping that now. So the full focus is you've got this list of options of plant tea. So I'm kind of putting that out there for everybody to be aware, and for me to look back in years to come and say, look, I called it, this was my plan, and look where I'm at now. So let's kind of talk about what I'm up to, like where I'm at. So I've been working with a manufacturer, a very well-established tea supplier, who have formulated a blend, because I knew the ingredients. I said, these are the ingredients I want, and they are things like marshmallow root, stinging nettle, fennel seeds, cat's claw, astragalus, echinacea, and ashwagandha root. And there's a specific reason why I chose all of these, actually, because to me these are the perfect combination of plants that are not only just aptogenic. I don't know why I struggled with that, and I'm not even going to cut that out. But the healing modalities with them, the nutrient content that you have in them as well. So kind of let's talk about where I'm at. I've worked with these guys. I've had 4 samples, and the 3 previous samples I've liked them. I'm like, yeah, but I know what each herb tastes like. I've drank them for so many years. I know the smell, the taste. I know like the healing benefits. I know how it makes me actually feel. And I've actually been giving these out as part of me being a gut health coach. All my clients have these herbs too in some fashion. And I finally got the right formula, which is going to be the first product that I'm going to be launching. And I've gone back and I said, I'm really happy with this, but I've asked for more samples, which I've recently received, which I've got in just a plain bag here that says blend 1. Because the intention is I'm going to give out, I put a poll up on my Instagram account, Master Key Manny on Instagram, so give me a follow on there, where I asked, if anyone wants to sample this in return for feedback, then please let me know. And I've got a long list of people that I need to send these out to this week. But I was working with a supplier, and I want the printed packets. Like, it'll be similar to this, but it won't be brown. It'll be printed. It'll be nice colour. But the minimum order is 5,000 orders. I'm a startup brand, straight up. So I'm a startup, and they're saying 5,000 orders is a big, that's huge. Because, I might think there's no guarantee I can sell them in 12 months. So why would I put such a big order in from a startup? But I'm confident. I mean, I'm definitely putting the order in. That's not... It's a given, really. Because I could go for the... I can just get one of these and put a sticker on it and start from there and build it up. But that's not the perception I'm going for. Because that, to me, seems... amateurish. I'm not going in an amateur, I'm going full force with Fifth Ray. And the minimum order for just something like this with a sticker is like 100 orders compared to 5,000 orders. But I negotiated with them actually and said, I'm a startup, can we not reduce the minimum order? So they said, yeah, we can do that. We can reduce it to 2,500 orders, which is cool. But then the price per pouch increases, and it increased by 15p, to be honest, per pouch. But you times 15p by, 2,500, it adds up. But my first order, I think, I'm still weighing it up because of the difference, shall I just go for the 5,000 and pay the extra? Because they also said, you can put the order in for 5,000, but actually we don't have to send you all 5,000. We can phase it. But then they said they've got limited storage too, so we'll see what happens there, really. And another thing, I'm kind of deciding on the size yet. The 2 sizes I've got in mind, and I'm kind of humming and hawing because with these, I kind of, what the premise is, I want them to be enough for a month, like roughly 30-day supply, but it's hard to gauge because I would actually have to try and measure it out and calculate what's sufficient for a month's supply, and that's assuming that you're having 1 cup a day. I would recommend having 2 cups of these a day, by the way. And then there's other things like, this is a reusable cotton tea bag, which is actually brilliant, and I love the quality of this tea bag. And I'm working with another company, a textiles company actually, who are making these tea bags for me. And I'm gonna get, each pouch is gonna come with one of them. But yeah, and the other thing is, it's a subscription business essentially. Fifth Ray is going to be on a subscription basis. How that model's going to work, I don't know just yet. I'm still working out. I mean, it's still early days, but we'll see how that kind of comes about. And there's another thing actually I didn't mention, which was kind of going back to my intentions that I want to briefly say, is that my intention is to grow this so big. I've just noticed how creased this t-shirt is. But I'm putting it out there now. It's at zero. My intention is to sell Fifth Ray in the future for £50 million, or the equivalent of £50 million, because it might be $60 million. And some people might be watching this as like, this guy daydreaming, but to you it may be a daydream. For me, it's going to be a reality. And when I look back at this, I'll be like, I know, because I've already put it out there. I've set the intention. I'm working towards it. But it's not about the money. It's about helping people. Helping people, because these herbs help me tremendously, and they still do. And I want to help others in the same way and have fun along the way. And I'm just mindful of this kind of, I'm talking a lot here, and I want you all to stay like engaged. So I'm going to just kind of come across some other parts that have been going on as well. So yeah, going back to the order, the pouches, there's a lead time of like 8 weeks, which is all right when I'm doing my first order, because I don't mind it being 8 weeks, because there's a lot of other things I still need to do. Like the website I've been doing on Shopify, I'd say it's about 80% done, maybe 70-80% done. But I've been away for the last week, so I've kind of lost a week in building out my website, but it's absolutely fine. And it was one thing actually, because again, I'm new to all this. I was on LinkedIn, and someone like an accountant, he put up a status saying, I'm free for like a virtual coffee if anyone wants to kind of have a talk or got any questions. And I was like, yeah, I reached out to him. I'm like, yeah, I've got a load of questions. I don't know about kind of incorporating a business. I know enough because I researched it, but I've never actually done it. One of the things he said was, because of the nature of the business, it'll be 0 rated VAT, so I wouldn't have to charge or pay any VAT. But the good thing is, I can still register as VAT, but anything I've paid VAT on, which, for example, like these tea bags, I'm paying VAT on, I can claim that back, but I don't have to pay any VAT on the product, which is actually brilliant, and it's great advice, because that keeps the cost for you guys down. I don't have to add VAT into the product because there's none to add on, which is pretty cool, I think. What else is going on? Oh yeah, I've got a problem here, because now I've got the blend. I want the packets. I want some samples made where I can then start making doing the photography. I literally want to get some photos taken so that I can get them on the website. I found an amazing photographer who's done photography for some big brands. He's based in London, and I literally want to use him. I don't really care how much it costs. I think I asked him, actually, I reached out and I told him I'm a startup and I just want to get a rough idea, and he said it's going to be about 1,500 quid. I was like, I'm happy to pay 1,500 quid, because it's the perception of professionalism, and it looked cool. His photography, his style looked amazing, and I thought it's very fitting with my vision of Fifth Ray. But I can't do that because I have no product packaging. And when I asked the suppliers, they said, yeah, we can probably get you some made, but it's going to take some time, and it's going to cost you like 50 quid per sample. And I'm like, it's a rip-off for starters, 50 quid to to get some packages made. So they were like, get some mock-ups made for the website, and I don't want to do it because the website is kind of built around, well, I've built the website, but it probably will change drastically depending on how the photography looks, in fact. So that's slowing me down, actually, is that I want some sample, proper packaging of how I want it to look, so then I can get some pictures made, and then I can really visualize it and it get me excited, like, look, it's coming to life. But yeah, sending out samples. If there's anyone who's watching this and you want me to send you out a sample to try Fifth Ray, in return for some feedback, because I've created a feedback form, I really want to know what you all think. Because bear in mind, if I'm ordering 2,500 and, you know, I give out a load of samples and 80% of people think, I don't like this, even though I know that's not the case because I've been giving it to people and people loved it already. I've had great feedback so far. But I want more people, you know, people who are casual tea drinkers or hot drinkers, you know, people who are massive fans of coffee and what change away from coffee, people who are got gut health issues, you know, because the whole premise of Fifth Ray's plant tea is initially to boost energy, to boost gut health overall. So it doesn't matter, like, if you've never drank tea before or you're a connoisseur in hot beverages. I want everyone to try it because I care what you think, I really do. So if you want to try it, leave me a comment or message me on Instagram at MasterKeyManny. And, you know, this has been a long video and I'm sorry I've been going on for so long. But hopefully you watched to the end, and if you have, subscribe, and I'll see you in episode 3. Peace.